Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yolanda Melody. Today I want to talk about God. I want to share from my perspective what life is like knowing God. Not believing in God, but knowing God. There is a difference between faith and knowing. And if you're a person who classes yourself as atheist or just hearing the word God triggers you, I have no intention of converting anyone, really. It's not my motive. My intention is not for this video to be pressurizing or triggering. It's actually meant to be inspiring because most people's version of what they think God is wrong. People seem to have this idea that God is this authoritarian thing that lives in the sky and judges everything that we do, and if we do not obey him, he will banish us to hell. And people think that if you believe in God, you have to spend your whole life restricted and trying really, really hard to obey all of these rules, and I have never seen it that way. Now, I have known and felt God's presence since I was born, really. There's never been a moment where I've doubted God's existence. Just as an experiment, I've tried to open my mind to think, what would I do if God didn't exist? And when I ventured into that thought, I felt incredibly empty. It was like nothing had meaning at all. It puts you in a mindset where you think, well, nothing matters. It puts you in a place where suddenly there's a massive void and you kind of just feel very lost. Like you may as well just be a really immoral person because all of this is meaningless. You may as well just chase money because that's about the only exciting thing going on when you don't have meaning in your life. Anyway, that was just me experimenting, just trying to see another person's perspective, and that's where my mind went. The way I've always seen God is that when you are connected with God, you have this strength that you know is coming from something that is higher than yourself. You feel protected. You feel inspired. Because you know God, you know that life does have a meaning. And because your life has a meaning and a purpose, you're able to experience a full spectrum of human emotion. Now, there may be some people listening to this and thinking, that's why she believes in God, because she can't cope with the idea that God doesn't exist. It's like a crutch. It's like a delusion that keeps you going. Well, just hear this. While you're sitting down and you're listening to this video, your heart's pumping blood all around your body. Your lungs are expanding and contracting. Your body is actually doing 1,000,001 different things that you're not consciously aware of. It's just happening in the background. Now, if suddenly all of those mechanisms just stopped, would you consciously know what to do to get your body working again? No, you wouldn't, because our human mind only has a certain level of capability. As humans, we're able to do many things, but there are so many things around us that we do not have the mental capacity to create. We didn't create the trees, the birds, the earth. All of that was there before us. We also didn't consciously create our body. Yet somehow, every single aspect of our body, nature, animals, everything works in such a divine order, and it coexists in complete harmony. Well, it did until everybody started to fuck shit up, but I digress. If you take away all of the issues going on with humanity, and you look at everything else just seems to be working in perfect order. Every creature has a purpose and contributes to the greater picture. So you could say that we aren't the most intelligent being in the universe. So is it really that hard to believe that there is something else that is more intelligent than us that created all of this? Is it really that much of a stretch to think that? Now, any person watching that is a creative person will understand that in order to create something, there is a process behind it. When you watch a film, you know that it probably took 1 or 2 years of filming scripts. There were probably many different cuts of the same scene taken over and over and over again. There was probably a few periods of months where the film was being edited, and after years and years of hard work, finally, the finished product is ready to be viewed by the public. Now, what would you say if I told you that none of that actually happened? That that's a stupid thing to think, and that the film actually was created from a big bang? A big explosion. Yeah, that's what happened. A huge explosion happened and then the film just is. That's what I hear when people say that all of this was created from a big bang. The theory itself does not explain anything at all. Any creative person will tell you that you cannot create anything from destruction. That's one of the many reasons why I know God exists. Because to me, there is no other logical explanation. But also because there are so many instances in my life where I've had near misses, potentially life-threatening situations where I just happened to not die. I've witnessed miracles happen, and I'm not professing to be special here. I'm sure that if everyone thinks back throughout their life, they've witnessed miracles as well, but some people decide to just explain it away as a coincidence, because people are being programmed to live a godless life, which to me only leads to destruction. It surprises me that I've waited this long to speak so openly about God, because it seems to be one of the most controversial things to talk about, especially when everything is so openly satanic now and backwards. I could give countless examples of times where God has saved me from ruining my life, but each one of those examples probably deserves its own video. The point I'm trying to make here is that God is always on your side. A lot of people ask the question, well, if God is real, then why do all of these bad things happen in the world? Why is there so much evil? This is something that I hear all the time. And the thing is, we have been given free will to do what we want. But if you choose to go outside of natural law that is built to create harmony, if you choose to go outside of that, then there are consequences. The irony as well is that if you ask any person on this planet right now, and you ask them, do you believe that evil exists? The majority of people will say 100% yes. We see evil reign supreme every single day. And if you don't see that, open your eyes. How can you believe in evil but not believe in good, aka God? If you go about your life thinking that evil exists but God doesn't, in my opinion, that is a one-way ticket to serious hopelessness. And when you're hopeless, you become weak. And when you're weak, you become controllable. A lot more controllable. Many of us are aware that we have rulers at the moment that are trying to steer us into a communistic lifestyle. And one of the first goals when it comes to introducing communism is to remove God from the picture. Because when you have God, you have strength. But when you don't have God, you look for the government to save you. These tyrannical puppet masters want you on your knees. They know the power that people can conjure when they ask God for strength. And that's why they don't want you to have God. But like I say, I have no intention of converting anyone. When I speak of God, I'm not necessarily speaking of any type of religion. I'm simply making this video to inspire you. Feel free to comment your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Love you, bye!